Hi, Stories Channel here.
And today we are going through a 2012 drama, comedy, called That's My Boy. The movie starts with an 8th grade teenage boy called Donnie Berger, who is with his friends in school. He tells them that he does not like teenage girls anymore because he is interested in women. Suddenly, a beautiful young teacher named Mary McGarrigle appears before them. Donnie asks Miss Mary McGarrigle to go out for a movie with him, but she tells him that she is his teacher and not his girlfriend. When Donnie keeps on flirting with her, she takes him to the detention room. After some time, Mary confesses to him that she shares the same feelings. Then, she seduces Donnie and takes him into her office. Donnie and Mary also meet each other off school, and one day during a program in the auditorium, they get caught red-handed by the audience. Mary runs away from the spot in embarrassment, but the audience appreciates Donnie for hooking up with a teacher. Later, we see that Mary is pregnant and she is in the courtroom where the judge has sentenced her to 30 years in Massachusetts Women's Penitentiary for statutory rape. The judge also announces that the unborn child's custody will be given to Donnie's father until Donnie turns 18. This relationship leads to a scandal that makes Donnie famous. He gets invited for a lot of interviews and also gets offers to work in TV shows. After a period of 28 years, Donnie is an alcoholic and broke slacker who owes $43,000 to the Internal Revenue Service in back taxes. His lawyer, Jimmy, suggests that if he places a $20 bet on an 8,000-1 runner in an upcoming race, he can get the money to pay his taxes. Donnie tells him that he cannot just count on that as it is a long shot. Jimmy tells him that he should take help from his son, Han Solo, but he learns that he has left Donnie since he turned 18 because of his parents' scandal. In the next scene, Donnie is in a club and he reads a newspaper where he finds that his son has changed his name to Todd Peterson, and he tells everyone that his parents died in an explosion. Donnie learns that Todd is a successful businessman now and he is going to marry his fiancée, Jamie Martin, in All Saints Church on Cape Cod. Todd arrives with Jamie's parents, Gerald and Helen, to stay at the Cape Cod house of his boss, Steve Spyru. After some time, Jamie's brother, Chad, who is a soldier, arrives there and he sees Todd for the first time. Next, we see that Donnie meets a TV producer called Randall Morgan who worked with him during his time as a celebrity. Randall offers him $50,000 if he can organize a reunion with Todd and Mary in women's prison. Jamie tells everyone in his family about Todd's impressive skill of calculating numbers in no time. After this, Donnie arrives at Cape Cod and shocks Todd with his unexpected visit. He pretends Donnie is an old friend and tries to make him leave soon, but Steve's mother, Dolores, invites him to stay with them. Todd takes Donnie into the room he would be staying in and gets angry at him for showing up. He tells Donnie that he has created a whole fake life to get rid of him, but Donnie tells him that Todd has to meet his mother in the prison. He tells him that she is sick and the doctors say that the chances of her survival are slim. Todd doesn't believe him and starts complaining about the careless way Donnie had brought him up. He shows Donnie a pack of insulin and tells him that he is diabetic as Donnie used to make him eat cake and lollipops for breakfast every day. Todd tells him that he was 400 pounds by the time he was only 12 and it took a lot of effort to lose all that weight. Donnie apologetically tells him that he had no one to help him during his care as Todd's grandfather was a psycho. Suddenly, Jamie knocks at the door and asks Todd to come out to attend to the guests. Then, Todd asks Donnie to put on a tie before joining the party, but he agrees when Todd lures him by saying that he would give him $400 for putting on a tie. At the party, Todd's colleague and his best man, Phil, recognize Donnie as the one who became a public figure after his scandal with a teacher. During Phil's speech as Todd's best man, Donnie reveals to Todd that his genius skill of fast calculation comes from him and his mother as she was a maths teacher. Then, Phil steps aside and announces that Donnie will take over as best man. Donnie spots Fenway Park in Steve's backyard and takes everyone there for a game. Donnie's popularity with guests annoys Todd a lot. In the next scene, we see that Todd and Donnie show each other their tattoos which they got at their backs in childhood. Later, Donnie finds Dolores's photo frame of her youth. The next morning, Dolores visits his bedroom and finds a lot of tissues over his bed. As she starts picking it up, Todd appears and tries to cover it up. Then, they all go to the church for the wedding rehearsal and meet Priest McNally, who breaks into a fight with Todd and they all get kicked out of the church. Everyone gets pissed off at Todd for messing up, but Donnie calms them down by fabricating a story that churches freak out Todd since his father's funeral. He tells them that because of a foul-up at the mortuary, the casket remained a little open and Todd saw a squirrel getting into the coffin and harming his father's body. This makes everybody become sympathetic towards Todd and Jamie gives him a warm hug. Then, Phil tells them that he will arrange a priest for the wedding, but Gerald adds that they have no place to tie the knot. Donnie quickly comes with an idea and takes them to the place where Jamie and Todd will tie the knot. Then, Todd, Donnie, Phil, and other male guests go to the He Time Spa for Men, where the host, Mrs. Revensdale tells them that they will have a massage, facial, and nail treatments. This annoys Donnie as he found the bachelor party to be very formal and boring. After this, Donnie takes everyone to the strip club where they all dance and get drunk. Later, Donnie sends all the other men back home in the car and makes Todd stay with him for some time. He gives Todd the earring he got from Mary as a gift. He thinks that he would pass that earring from generation to generation. Todd asks him about Uncle Vanny whom he last saw in his childhood, and then Donnie takes him to Uncle Vanny who works at an ice rink. All three of them go ice skating and have fun at a mart, and then they also go bowling. Donnie teaches Todd how to ride a bicycle, but he hits a car and angers the passengers. Next, we see that Donnie and Todd return home where he confesses to Todd that he loves him a lot and apologizes for his mistakes. Todd agrees to meet Mary in the prison, but Donnie tells him that he doesn't need to go there because he found out that Mary only pretended to be sick to get delicious meals in the prison. Todd goes into his room where Grandma Dolores appears in a bathing suit. Hammered Donnie falls on Jamie's wedding dress on the mannequin, thinking that it is Jamie herself. The next morning, Todd wakes up with Jamie's screams, who is crying over her spoiled dress as Todd had spilled his puke on it. She then angrily orders him to take the dress to the dry cleaner and take out the earring which his father gave him. After taking the dress to the dry cleaner, Todd calls Donnie and informs him that he is on his way to meet his mother at the prison. He also tells him that he has kept a gift on his dress for Donnie. Donnie quickly gets into the car and reaches the women's prison. They both meet Mary, but suddenly Mr. Randall appears with his team and records the video of the family's reunion. This frustrates Todd and he tells Donnie that he hates him a lot. He gets panicked and shits his pants. Mr. Randall asks Todd to sign the release form, but he leaves the prison in disgust. Then, Mr. Randall tells Donnie that he will not be getting the promised money as things are messed up. Donnie is saddened over the fight between him and his son and goes home to pick his baggage. Suddenly, he overhears Jamie talking to Steve on the phone and thinks that she is cheating on Todd. Later, at the rehearsal of the wedding dinner in the evening, Donnie shows up and discloses Jamie's secret to Todd, but Jamie explains that she was talking to a reporter called Steve Goldstein. She tells him that the reason why she kept it a secret was that she didn't want to bother Todd as he doesn't like to appear in the newspaper. Donnie gets embarrassed for what he did and apologizes to her in front of everyone. Then, Jamie with her brother, Chad, leaves to stay at a hotel as she would not be with Todd that night as a part of the tradition. Donnie goes to the hotel to clear things up with Jamie, but he finds her incest with her brother. Jamie reveals that Chad is not a military man but a dancer. He takes a picture of them and threatens to show it to Todd. Jamie tells him that Todd is already dealing with depression and he would get worse if he learns about Jamie's infidelity. She lures and persuades Donnie by offering him a check of the desired amount. Donnie calls Jimmy and tells him that he has arranged a sum of $50,000 to pay his pending taxes. He then finds out Mr. Nitty as a gift from Todd. On the wedding day, Priest McNally shows up and tells Todd that after praying with the Monsignor, he realized that he has committed a sin at the church by fighting with Todd. He requests Todd to allow him to conduct his wedding. Donnie goes to his friend, Vanny, who takes him to the wedding venue in his car. On their way, their car gets stuck in the mud and they decide to walk. They both arrive at the wedding and Donnie tears the check of $50,000 which Jamie gave to him. He accidentally calls Todd his son, which makes Todd reveal his actual relationship with Donnie. Then, Donnie forces Jamie to tell Todd about her incest with Chad before Donnie discloses it in front of all the guests there. Jamie somehow musters up the courage and whispers her secret in Todd's ear, who discloses it to everyone in shock. Jamie's parents and all the guests get shocked. Then, Jamie forces Todd to marry her as they both have confessed their dark past in front of everyone. But Todd rejects her and proudly tells her that he is not Todd Peterson but Han Solo. Donnie gets very happy with Han Solo's decision. Jamie takes a knife and tries to attack Han Solo, but Donnie knocks her out with a bottle of beer. Chad gets angry and runs towards him and gets knocked out by Han Solo and Priest McNally. Han Solo finally accepts Donnie as his father and they both leave the wedding happily. In the last scene, Donnie and Han Solo are celebrating at the strip club and they see the marathon on the TV. The fat guy runner, Tubby Took, on whom Donnie placed a $20 bet, and that runner win the race which will get him $60,000, and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching, guys.